once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay. Well, let's learn English together. Hello again, people. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Tuesday. Yes, it's here once again. Tuesday has reared up in front of us like a seahorse, really. So, not particularly scary, I know, but, well, it's still Tuesday. All right, so, did you all sleep well? Yes? Good.
No. Oh, no. No, I'll just say hello. No. No, Michael.
No.
Oh, some of you didn't. Oh dear, what a shame. Well, never mind. There's nothing you can do about it now, is there? I mean, yes, you could go back to bed and go to sleep now, or you could just fall asleep where you're sitting, but that wouldn't be a very good long-term solution, would it? No, and we all know why, don't we? That's right. It would send your body clock completely round the twist. You'd completely confuse your brain and send your body clock bananas. You know when you go on holiday somewhere far away, somewhere in a different time zone, think about what happens then. Your body is working on Hungary time, but now you go on holiday and you have to change the time on your watch, and when you get there it's night, but when you left Hungary it was also nighttime, so your brain is expecting to see morning, not night, and then your brain gets all confused and your body clock is completely baffled by what's going on, and then you can't sleep at night because your body clock thinks that the whole thing's a joke and it's not really nighttime at all. And then when you finally do drop off, then you wake up again at 4:30 a.m. because your brain thinks that it's 8:30 a.m. and then you walk around for 2 days acting like a zombie. So that's what happens sometimes when you go on holiday, and if you don't sleep well at night, for whatever reason, and you think that it's a good idea to catch up on your sleep during the day, be careful. It could lead to you experiencing a holiday zombie nightmare state, so that when you go to bed the next night, you can't sleep because now your body clock is all confused again. So, my recommendation to you now is this. Just try and fight against the desire to go back to bed. Tonight you'll fall asleep faster than usual, and then tomorrow, when your body clock has returned to normal, things will be back the way they should be. Resist the temptation of the bed. Until tonight, that is. All right, so the present perfect, a tense which connects the past to the present. Let's have another look at it, shall we? All right, now, yesterday we learned that there are 4 main areas where we use the present perfect. But we also learned that the divisions between those 4 groups are, well, quite fluid. They're not very fixed. When we look at a sentence using the present perfect, we can normally put it into more than one category. But that's not a problem, is it? No, of course that's not a problem. We just have to remember that this part of the English language isn't an exact science. That's all. All right, so let's think about the fact that we use the present perfect in situations where we've got an action in the past, but which is connected to the present. For instance, we could have an action in the past with a result at the time of speaking. Now, if I tell you that I've lost my wallet, then I'm using the present perfect for that very reason. The action, the act of me losing my wallet happened in the past. It could have been 10 minutes ago, or this morning, or even last night. Normally we only notice that we've lost something after a matter of time. But even if the event, the action of losing my wallet happened in the past, I'm using the present perfect. I'm connecting this event in the past to now when I'm speaking, because I can't find my wallet now. I can't find it now when I'm speaking, and I can't pay the bill in the cafe or bar now. So, action in the past or event in the past, but it's connected to now. It's important now. There's a result from the action now. So, let's have a look at some more sentences, all right? And in these sentences too, we can see the same thing, an event or action which happened in the past, but a connection to now, to the time of speaking. Action in past, result now. All right, now look at the picture which accompanies each sentence and look at the sentence to find out the relevant information we need to complete the sentence. Things like which subject the sentence is going to use, which main verb I want you to use, if the sentence is positive or negative, or perhaps if the sentence is a question. Number 1, Jason King, clean. Number 2, Brian Cox, tidy. Number 3, Michael Foot, lose. Okay, so let's have a look at those 3 sentences. So we can see that we're highlighting the fact that there's a connection between the before and after pictures. We're looking at something which shows the connection between the past and the present. Look at the first photo and tell me, what can we see in that photo? Yes, the shoes were dirty and now they're not dirty. Now they're clean. So that means that someone cleaned them. Yes. And because we're using the present perfect, that means that we're going to use have, correctly conjugated, along with the past participle of the verb. Which verb? Well, the verb to clean, of course. All right. So as we can see, there's some information there, but not a lot. We've got a name and a verb. That's all. But come on. This is us, isn't it? Yes. And we don't need much more than that, do we? No. Okay, so as we saw, we've got a name and a verb. The name tells us what the subject is. We now know that we're making a sentence about Jason King. So, when he noticed that his trainers were dirty, he cleaned them. Fine. Now, back to our sentence. We've got a name, the subject of the sentence, and a verb. And we know what tense we're going to use, the present perfect. And we also know what the object of the sentence is, the shoes. Okay. So how do we make a present perfect sentence for that photo? Well, what do we start with? Yes, that's right. We start with the subject. And what's the subject? Jason King. Bingo! Okay, now what's next? Well, this sentence is a present perfect sentence, so we need have plus past participle. Jason King, which subject form? Third person singular. Good. So, what's the correctly conjugated form of the verb to have for the third person singular? I have, you have, but he, she, it has. Okay, so Jason King has. Okay, what's next? The past participle, of course. Okay, and what are the forms of the verb to clean? Clean becomes cleaned, and that tells us what? Yes. The ed ending on the end of the infinitive tells us that clean is a regular verb. Great! And who remembers why that's great? Yes, if we're dealing with a regular verb, we know that the past participle is the same as the past simple form. So, we don't have to think about it. We don't have to look it up in a dictionary. We see that the verb is regular, and so we know that the past simple form and the past participle form are the same. Clean, cleaned, cleaned. So, that gives us Jason King has cleaned. Excellent. And what do we need to complete the sentence? Yes, we need the object, don't we? We need to add the thing that we're talking about, his shoes. Okay, let's put it all together. Jason King has cleaned his shoes. Excellent. On to the next one. Aha! This time, it's a sentence about Brian Cox, the famous Scottish actor, the man from Dundee. Now, we know that Brian Cox was born in Dundee, but we also know that he's obsessed with keeping his internet cables neat and tidy. Brian doesn't like it when his cables are in a mess. He likes neat things, not messy things. And so, when Brian came home after a hard day of acting the goat, he was glad to learn that his new broadband internet had been installed. But he was upset to see that the broadband engineer had connected everything in a very messy way. There were cables here and cables there and oh zounds! It was a mess. So Brian tidied the cables up. And now he has broadband internet and a very attractive cable setup. All right, so just like the first one, we've got two bits of information. We've got a name, Brian Cox, and we've got a verb, to tidy. Okay, so let's think about the verb. Is it regular or irregular? Tidy becomes tidied. So that means that it's regular. Hooray! So the past participle is also tidied. Great. So, subject, Brian Cox. Third person singular. Form of have, has. Past participle, tidied. Now all that's left is the object. And what's the object? Well, we could say the cables, or his cables, or something along those lines. Let's see the completed sentence. Brian Cox has tidied his cables. Wonderful! Let's see the next one. Okay, so what about this one? Ooh, blimey! Snails, gadzooks! Michael was a bit on the chubby side, to say the least. He was as fat as a plastic bag full of elephants. But he decided that he was going to do something about it. And he has, yes! But what has he done? Well, just like the other two sentences, we've got two pieces of information. Michael's name and a verb, the verb to lose. All right, so let's put the sentence together, shall we? Subject, Michael Foot. Okay, what about the verb to lose? Is it regular or irregular? Irregular. Lose becomes lost. Okay, but what about the past participle? What's the past participle of the verb to lose? Well, would you look at that? Look, it's the same form for both, the past simple and the past participle. That means that the verb to lose is a member of which group? I can't remember, but it's a member of the group where the past simple form and the past participle are the same, but the infinitive is different. Hooray! All right, now, what now? Well, we know the subject, Michael Foot, and we know that he's also the third person singular. So, has plus the past participle, lost. Michael Foot has lost. And what has he lost? Yes, weight. Michael Foot has lost weight. Now, with this one, we can probably add a modifier, can't we? Do you all remember the idea of a modifier? Yes, we all remember the verb to modify, don't we? The verb to modify means to make small changes to something. If you change your car, then we know that you have a different car now. You had a Porsche and now you've got a Rolls Royce. But if you modify your car, then you just change something connected to your car. Maybe you fitted a different exhaust or put on some new wheels. Maybe you changed the wheels for bigger wheels, or maybe you bought and fitted some alloy wheels. So modify, a little change. Now, when we use the idea of a modifier with grammar, it's the same idea. We use a word, a noun or an adjective to change a noun. So when we say that Michael has lost weight, that's fine. But he's lost a lot of weight. He's lost lots of weight. He hasn't lost some weight, he's lost a huge amount of weight. So we can stick with the original idea. Michael Foot has lost weight. Or we can modify the noun weight and say that he's lost a lot of weight, or lots of weight, or a huge amount of weight. We're just giving more information and making the sentence a more descriptive, more imaginative sentence. Alright, so 3 sentences, and all of them featured the third person singular, which means that it was very simple. We know that to make the present perfect, we have to conjugate the verb to have correctly. And we all know that the correct conjugation for the third person singular is has. Great! After that, we know that we have to add the past participle form of the verb we're using, the main verb in the sentence. And again, that wasn't difficult, was it? No! But if we don't know the past participle of a verb in English, we can always find it in a dictionary, can't we? Yes! Okay, and what then? Well, because all of these sentences were positive, there wasn't much that we had to do, was there? We started with the subject, added has, the third person singular form of the verb to have, and then followed with the past participle form of the verb we were using. Then, all we had to do was follow with the rest of the sentence. In these cases, the object of the sentence. And that's all the time we've got for you today. Yes, it's time for me to leave and head off home where there's a coffee with my name on it waiting in the coffee maker. I'll see you all tomorrow and we'll delve into the present perfect once again. Have a great afternoon. Finish your chores, walk the dog, talk to the cat, feed the parrot and the monkey. If you've got a monkey, that is. Have fun, and I'll see you all tomorrow. See you later. www.mediaclick.hu, www.chiefmangazutabutalezi.za. Bye!